All right, this is Anthony here on behalf of the Facebook Conspiracy uh, product and working with Tim Atkinson and Martin. And I wanted to get right into the material, and maybe I'll do a little backstory so you can see where I'm coming from with this particular um, strategy that we're going to go into in this video, getting right into the meat and potatoes. Uh, but right here, what you see, what I'm looking at here, we're going to focus on this cloaking redirect strategy. But what you can see right here is the Facebook conspiracy mind map. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can get a better look at this. Here we go. That's good right there. And this is all the ideas and strategies that have been just amassed over, year and a half, 2 years, things like that. It's on Facebook, just a lot of information put together into this mind map all in one spot, with separated by strategies and the point of what each particular thing is trying to do. So this is obviously included in there, so this is a little bonus, and you can get a lot of meat from there, but we're just going to cover a few things on here, and one of them we're going to start with right now is the cloaking and redirects. Now, the reason why there's a backstory is because it's funny how when you have certain things set up, when you're doing marketing, your normal everyday life, sometimes some things will happen that will kind of be like, whoa, that actually is interesting, that this data that came up. And one of my friends actually was marketing. One of my friends named Caesar, and he noticed that he was getting a lot of IP addresses from India at one point when he was doing Facebook ads, and he let me know about this and told me how he was tracking an IP. So I decided to get Stats Press, which is just a little WordPress plugin. And this is what you can do. I mean, you can do. I'm teaching this from scratch, so you can do this yourself. And in the end, I'll give you something to get all this done at one spot. But Stats Press is a WordPress plugin that you can track your stats, and you can see the IP addresses, where they're coming from, the amount of visits, the total visits, today's visits, and like all these things, whether they're using what operating system they're using, the logged online visitors, the browser, all these different things that you can find out using this Stats Press. But primarily what we're concerned with right now is the IP address that you can track, and that will tell you, that this person is from India and whatnot. Now, Facebook has a staff that reviews the ads. Some of it is in Palo Alto, and some of it is in overseas, like when everybody in the U.S. is asleep and stuff like that. And the way I figured this out, to go with the theme of the Facebook conspiracy, is I set up this Stats Press in my blog, and started to notice that there was certain IP addresses that came up a lot more frequent than the other IP addresses, and a lot of times they were from like India if I was doing it late at night and things like that. And just by tracking the IP addresses using this, I was able to go into my account and say, oh wow, there's a lot, like I'll submit 300 ads, and obviously these 300 ads will get reviewed, and it'll be like 300 visitors from one IP address, or maybe 150 visitors from two different IP addresses before I even got my ads going. So basically I was able to tell, okay, this is Facebook's IP address. Now, you may actually be asking yourself, well, what's the significance? Okay, Facebook's IP address. You're able to track the visitor. And by the way, before I tell you the significance of that, let me show you that you can just simply, if you don't want to use Stats Press or anything, just any place, just search track visitor IP address, or track by visitor IP address, or track IP address, track, all different types of search things. And you can just find your own way, whatever way you want to do to track the IP address. The point is, you want to grab that information and see the IP address that Facebook is coming from, right? So you have identified them. You know what browser, what country, what location they're coming from, the IP address, of course, and different things like that. Now, as you can see here, the point of it is cloaking and redirecting. So once you have the tracking done, you can cloak and redirect by IP address. Now, what that means is basically you set it up in your system. Once you track the IP address, you go to Google and you search for something like IP-based cloaking, where you can get certain tools that can cloak your website or hide your website based on certain IP addresses. And maybe you can have certain content, and basically once you get those IP addresses, you put those IP addresses into this IP cloak based tool, and what it will do is it will say, well, okay, this person who's trying to visit your page is a Facebook staff member. So when they visit your page, it's a Facebook staff member, and you can say, okay, when a Facebook staff member visits, I want this to show. I want this or that to show. And you can have it something that Facebook likes, something that adheres to their guidelines or that they are more likely to approve, that seems more conducive to the Facebook feel, things like that. And you learn that over time. But and then what you can do is say, okay, if the IP address comes and it's not from the Facebook staff, which is the ones you collected, then you can show this, which will be, let's say, a squeeze page, opt-in form, mobile offer, anything. And all you need to do is collect the IPs and then cloak the IPs. You can get that by getting a cloaking tool, or you can just search redirect based on IP address. You can say, okay, if somebody visits visits my website from a certain IP address, redirect them to this page. So basically, it'll just redirect. They won't even see your page that you're trying to send traffic to, which is another good script to have, or another good thing to have on, like with PHP redirects and things like that. You can just click on the first result and see how easy it is to install. And if it's easy, then you can just put that on there. But basically, you grab the IPs, you redirect based on IP, or you cloak based on IP, and now you have ads being shown to Facebook that they want to approve, right? So you get approved, but a lot of times when you show stuff to Facebook that they want to approve, your conversion goes down, your landing page conversion goes down, your sales conversion will go down. What Facebook suggests usually doesn't work as good as other things. You can't put exit pop-ups and things like that. But what you do is when you redirect Facebook to something that will approve, and you don't lose on conversions, because in the background you have a script running that will show the exit pop-ups, the squeeze pages, and things like that to the traffic that you're going after, which is the non-Facebook staff. And that is one way to get approved and at the same time keep your conversions up and maintain your presence on Facebook without having to, an easy way that you can just install this one time, not have to go back and change this or that and stuff like that, because that's how I started when I did this. And to really wrap everything up for you in one spot, if you go to affiliateplex.com/tools/Facebook cloaker, and that actual link is, I'll make sure that link is in the mind map for you right there, and you can get the IP, the Facebook specific IP cloaking address, and they add the IPs themselves, and you can just copy and paste the script there into your web page, and you'll be able to cloak Facebook IP's address instantly. If you don't know how to install scripts, just ask your programmer how to do it. Ask your programmer to do it for you. That's what I usually do when I find cool stuff. I say, programmer, I want to do this. Install it for me, and then you're all set. Couple side notes real quick is that you can also redirect based on geographical location by going to this website, GeoBytes, georedirection. The significance of that is, let's say Facebook gets a new IP address. Well, you can make sure that Facebook doesn't see your ads still if you submit ads at a certain time where they have the staff go to a certain approve at a certain location. Well, let me explain it in a better way. Let's say as 3 in the morning in the United States, the staff that is actively approving ads is in India. Well, you can redirect based on people who are looking at your ad from India. So let's say you don't want to. Let's say you want to uh, not do by IP address because they can get a new IP address or change it or become privy to that. Which you can do, but you can submit your ads at the time, because remember, you're tracking the stats. You're tracking the stats with the IP tracker, and you can find out what time the staff from India goes, what time the staff from America goes, and you can submit your ads so that the India staff gets it and then redirect based on just India. Unless, of course, you're running ads for people in India, which that's usually not the case, but it may be. But that's a way that you can geographically redirect by IP address. Additionally, there are some scripts out there, and you can search those, to redirect by visitor count. Like after the first so many visitors, let's say after the first 10 visitors, it'll redirect to your actual offer. So after it gets its first 10 visitors or whatever, first 5 if you want to, you can actually, and you have to do this based on how many ads. If you have, let's say you submit 300 ads, you have to just to work it out for you in your head, you have to select it to redirect after at least 300 visitors, because they're going to review the 300 ads. So I would set it up pretty high if you're doing that many ads, but you can redirect after so many visitor count, and you'll still be able to cloak your content. So those are a few different ways. I mean, hopefully I gave you a lot of ideas, different things which you can really get by with Facebook ads, posting it the way you want to, when you want to, how you want to, and still make money and not lose on your conversions. That is just a fraction of what's in this Facebook conspiracy mind map, as you saw, and hope you enjoyed that. See you on the next video.